After talking about some fantastic 32K homebrew games for the Atari 2600, it's amazing that Activision was able to stuff as much gameplay as it did into this little 2K title. And later in the video, we'll be looking at a hack for this game as well. So stay tuned because our topic today is Stampede.
I've been driving cattle most of my natural life, and you're telling me I can't handle a Stampede?
Not this one, Buck.
Stampede by Activision for your Atari game system. One of the toughest video games around. Stampede's more than expert roping and riding. It's a test of strategy and skill.
Go ahead, you do it.
Your hands on the right.
Buck, you boys come in now.
Oh, Ma!
Stampede by Activision.
So you want to be a cowboy? Well, Green Hornet can be right tricky. Ride fast and rope as many stampeding calves as you can, but keep your eyeballs peeled. It takes a real cowpuncher to keep them herded. Saddle up and hang on to your hat. Stampede by Activision is the fastest run this side of the Pecos. Yeehaw! Okay, I'll save you from hearing any more of my cowboy voice. Stampede was published by Activision in 1981 and was written by Bob Whitehead. The controls are pretty simple here. Use the joystick to move your horse up and down, and the fire button to send out the lasso. The left difficulty switch determines how far the lasso will reach. Advanced will be a short lasso, and beginner is the longer. I'm not sure why they disappear when you rope them, but it is an Atari game. I've learned the real secret to getting far on Stampede is herding. If the cattle get to your end of the stream, instead of roping them, you can touch them and they will run up ahead. This way you can keep more control over your lanes. On the tip section of the manual, Bob Whitehead hints at herding being very important in the game. And there is a vintage video series showing the advantage of herding all the slowest running cattle and keeping the top row for roping. However, I am finding the center lane is easiest because you are closer to the two herding lanes. So you can see, that's what I'm doing here. I'm keeping the darker calves as my herd, and I keep sending them to the front of the stream, and I'm keeping the center lane, or close to it, free. So here I'm keeping two lanes clear. So as you can see, it's pretty forgiving as far as how far you can go back and send the herd to the front. The game actually ends when you have 3 calves get past you, and that number is seen at the top of the screen there. You can see how fast those black Angus come up. They stand still, and if you're only dealing with one lane, it's much easier to catch them. You can also see I'm getting close to 1,000 points here. Every 1,000 points, you get an extra cattle which can get past you. Of course, you won't see mine go up to 4 because I let that cattle at the top get past me. So you want to see here how quickly a game can end. Right there, it's over with. It all happens pretty quickly. You do have to avoid random skulls and keep your eyes peeled for the Angus. Running to either of these will cause your horse to rear. But you have to rope that Angus. He's worth a lot of points. There are 8 variations in the game, which basically mix random cattle patterns, galloping speed, and whether they try to avoid your lasso by moving up and down. That last variation sounds like the cattle could be moving all over the screen, but as you can see here, they're just moving up and down in their own lane. To keep the kiddies playing and roping more doggies, Activision came up with a neat reward system. If you get 3,000 or more, you can take a picture of the screen and send it to Activision. In return, you'll get a congratulations letter and a trail drive patch. You can sew it on your class jacket and show off to all your friends. Activision offered reward patches on a lot of their games. I'll talk more about this on future reviews. What was your highest score on Stampede? Did you make it past 3,000? Share in the comments below. Before we go, I promised to show you a Stampede hack. The following was named Border Patrol and came out in 2007 by Atari Age member Neo Tokyo. The cowboy and horse are unchanged, but now he is roping illegal aliens on the Texas border as a Border Patrol agent. The skull is now what looks like a sitting Mexican taking a siesta, and the Angus is just one of the aliens standing still and facing you. Overall, I highly recommend you check out Stampede and add it to your collection. I remember playing this as a kid, and it is still just as fun to play today. Well, that's all for this review. If you enjoyed it, please leave me a comment and a like, and subscribe if you want to see more videos, and if you have any recommendations, let me know in the comments below. Until next time, take care.